What's up, everybody? See if anybody's in the chat whatsoever. I can't even see the chat right now. All right, so I popped out the chat. Because for some reason it's not working normally. What's up, guys? Hey, give me 2 minutes, guys, because it's really hot out here. Let me go throw on a t-shirt or something. By the way, I am the only YouTuber that will change clothing midstream, so probably give it like 2 more minutes, see if anybody else wants to hop into the chat here. See where we're at. So, I mean, I guess while we're waiting to see if anybody else wants to jump in, I mean, I'm looking at Bitcoin right now. It's kind of still doing its thing, just kind of sitting right above the 50 EMA on the weekly. We're starting to see, you know, some resistance from the 21 EMA on the daily. We just attacked it for the first time on the 4th, which was yesterday. We got rejected from that level. That is the first time that we've attacked it since breaking below it. I would expect we will attack it again. Looking at XRP, kind of a similar thing here. Hold on, let me pull up XRP USD. XRP is actually kind of interesting right now. We just broke above the 21 EMA on the weekly against the dollar. If I were to pull up XRP BTC, look at Poloniex, we're pretty much right there ready to cross. Doesn't look like we're going to cross, though. I mean, it looks like we may have a little bit of a lag time here, so we will see what happens. But, yeah, see if anybody else wants to come in. Again, I think this is more of a consolidation time frame for something like Bitcoin. Now, granted, if we do see a cross of the 21 EMA, and these things are very easy to do. If you don't have a TradingView, just go to tradingview.com. You can just use, I would recommend doing an email that is separate from any personal emails and just creating a specific crypto email. Utilize that to set it up. You can have 3 indicators on TradingView. So go to tradingview.com. Right on the top there, you would want to type in BTC USD. I use Bitstamp. Multiple different exchanges would pull up, but I use Bitstamp for live trading. Again, I don't hold Bitcoin, but once you get onto the Bitstamp chart, I generally look at the daily and the weekly, sometimes the monthly. With smaller caps, I'll look at the 4-hour chart. You want to go up to indicators and just type in EMA twice, EMA, EMA, and then enter, and then EMA again. Then that's populated. You just go in and change the settings. One, change it to 21, and the other one, change it to 50. I sometimes will use the RSI. Sometimes I'll use stochastic RSI as well, and I just, you can try to plot different resistance levels and, draw your own trend lines and stuff like that. I've done that with certain assets, but I try to keep things as simple as possible. Right now, I think with Bitcoin, in a very kind of consolidation type time frame here. So, I mean, if we look back, I've done this before. The big level that we need to get above right now for me is probably that $38,800 level. Breaking above that again, which interestingly enough is kind of where the wick of January 4th's candle leads us up to, which is right about the 21 EMA. So it's very, like, once you start looking at TA and stuff like that, I'm not saying it's 100% across the board because the market fluctuates and then TA always kind of validates itself after the fact. But there are times where you can potentially predict what's going to happen. Resistance levels, support levels. I know Blockchain Backer is big on fractals. I know Kevin Cage is big on Fibonacci. I just look at things as simple as possible. I don't even really necessarily get into some of those things. I do know how to do those things at this point in time, but I always try to look left. That probably is the one thing that I did learn from that Crypto Crew University dude, is just to look left and see where these potential levels are going to be at. And when you also take these levels in tandem with like these EMAs that I'm telling you guys to put up, that can, and this isn't just valuable for looking at Bitcoin because I don't hold Bitcoin. I'm more concerned with all the other assets in the market. And we do know that these really, really small caps don't necessarily have anything to do with Bitcoin unless Bitcoin goes full bear, and then, you know, we're in some trouble. And I wouldn't be necessarily holding a lot of these smaller caps regardless if we go to that extent from a lower standpoint. Shit, where is hold on one second. Let me see if I can pull up the live chat here, which I just did have up. Let's see if I can reload this. Oh, I don't want to do that. It's going to screw my stream up. Give me a minute here. Let me see it because I just had the live chat pulled up. Definitely not on here. Yeah, for some reason, I'm not even using my crappy laptop. Oh, wait. Got it. Can Bitcoin fix my drug addiction? Yeah, so if you guys aren't aware what that statement is about, essentially two big Bitcoin maxis are at the Bitcoin conference in Miami right now. And the one dude was like, yeah, even from a political standpoint, Bitcoin fixes the government. Okay, that's complete bullshit. But Bitcoin did its thing. Bitcoin is still here from a name recognition standpoint, from a perceived store of wealth standpoint as well. But you know, Bitcoin did its thing from a peer-to-peer transfer mechanism where you did not need an intermediary, essentially a banking institution to deal in Bitcoin. So I'm on the thing, Ben. You want to say hi? Go on. What? Go ahead, say hi.
Hi.
Okay, go ahead. Go inside, honey, with your sister. You have your phone? Bitcoin did its thing from a peer-to-peer transaction mechanism standpoint, and it certainly was revolutionary at the time. But right now, I mean, what really do we have here besides a perceived store of value, quote unquote digital gold narrative? You know, I don't think that there's much from a speed standpoint. No, it's not there. Even the Lightning Network, it's essentially like preloaded and validated funds. So how does that solve the Nostro Vostro problem that we have right now with locked liquidity? It doesn't. You're just locking more liquidity. So, you know, I certainly think Bitcoin will probably do well, assuming that they can have some sort of green initiatives that come on board with it. But I also believe that at some point, Bitcoin gets usurped by digital assets with actual utility. So that's kind of where my head's at, I guess. I don't know if Bitcoin ever goes back to down to $800, bro. No, this morning we went out. I didn't make her a good breakfast this morning because we went out. I had to get ballet stuff for her. And then I had to, we stopped at a coffee shop and we got breakfast sandwiches. XRP 10K to 35K. Well, I think if that happens, dude, none of us have any problems. I wouldn't say that happens in the interim. I'm still, before this bull market, I always thought, you know, 15 to 30 bucks. If we get to $15, I will be extremely pleased. I think if we got to $6 to $8, I would be extremely pleased right now. So Here's the thing. I mean, and a lot of people think that I'm ridiculous by saying that, and they think XRP is going to go way higher. I at one point thought very similarly, and I'm not saying that it's not going to do that, but here's the caveat that I have to that. We're certainly not in a utility bull run right now. Every bull market and every cycle that we have, we start to see more utility, almost like Bitcoin's dominance level, right? We start to see utility take away dominance level from speculation, but we still have speculation. It's very apparent that we still have speculation because complete shitcoins have pumped to multi-billion-dollar market caps. They're obviously not shitcoins if they pump to that, but those are hype-based assets that really don't have real-world utility unless you utilize that utility. Saying that Dogecoin has the ability for peer-to-peer transfers is great. Smart contracts, I know that they're going to get into that, is great as well. But who is really using Dogecoin to transact on a peer-to-peer basis? Most people just buy these digital assets and hold them, right? Because we expect the value to potentially go up based on the utility of the network. So it gets there. There's not really necessarily a line drawn on the sand right now. So for me to say that XRP can't go to a $10,000 price valuation is nonsense because anything can happen. But for me to say that it will during this market cycle, from everything that I've seen and knowing, well, at least knowing for myself that we're not in a utility bull run, it certainly doesn't seem like it's a possible thing for me in this bull run. I also look at how hard it is to move certain market caps. Now, this becomes more of a speculative mindset and trying to buy into that speculation. How much harder is it to move a market cap that is like a $1 to a $5 million market cap up to $100 million comparative to a $10 billion market cap up to, $100 billion market cap? It's much harder. These things still happen, but, yeah, I don't have a ceiling on ALBT just because it's so small. I think that Alliance Block, and this is not financial advice whatsoever, I think that Alliance Block at some point in the future could certainly be a multi-billion-dollar asset. It doesn't seem like the team is focused on what the market cap is. It seems like the team is focused on building, which I like. So, also as a heads up, they had an AMA like 2 days ago, and one of the dudes in my Patreon, because I found there's a subsidiary corporation for Alliance Block that is called Devraj AG. It's DEVRAAJ space AG. And it's Matthew DeVry, Rashida Jaja, and I think it's Stuart, not Stuart Alroy, because that's Ripple. One other dude that started out this subsidiary corporation. And the description of this company is literally tokenized real estate. The guy in my Patreon asked that in their AMA, and they just kind of smiled and said, yeah, it's certainly a possibility, but we've got other things to do right now. But why would you open up that corporation if you weren't planning on doing that in the future? Yeah, Ryan, share me the Telegram or DM me on Twitter. Yeah, Gavin, you were the dude. Shit, I got to make Gavin a mod. Yeah, Gavin was the one that asked that. Yeah, okay, so Designs 85 says $1,000. I'm assuming this is XRP is reasonable at full out run. I'm assuming you mean full utility of XRP. That's estimating 5% of the financial market. You still got all the other ISOs considering XDC, XLM, HBAR, ADA, Algo, etc. I mean, at what point does XRP take 5% of market share, though? You know what I mean? Because I think that we're a far way away from that. I think that whenever XRP, assuming that it's regulatory compliant, we do know that there's a ton of central banks that are on RippleNet. We do know that there's a ton of banking institutions and financial money transmitters that are on RippleNet as well. Do you think they're all just going to flip the switch and have every flow running through XRP? I don't think that that's the way that it goes down. I do think there's been tests. I certainly think, depending on how this bull market goes, I guess is the first caveat. If XRP gets to like $6, $8, $10 this bull run, I certainly think within the decade it's possible for XRP to go to 3 digits. Now, it could be possible for it to go much higher. I just try to be more of a conservative as far as what I would consider XRP potentially going to. So, yeah, KG. So 17 cents XRP. I mean, that's where I kind of got a lot of my XRP was below that 30-cent range, a lot on like at the 20 to 22 cent range, some down in the single digit teens. I don't know. I've talked with multiple people about this. I talk with Kevin a lot, that you guys probably follow on YouTube and on Twitter. We bullshit on the phone sometimes, and it's like my mindset with XRP kind of at this point in time is that unless it gets to, he even differs from me. He's even more so not going to sell. But unless XRP gets between like $6, probably even like $7 to $10, I probably won't. I won't cash out really any of my XRP at this point because I've made money on other assets. So what is the point of me doing that? Because I believe that it's still like a world-changing asset. I would rather just accumulate more if we do go into another bear market, which we certainly will at some point in time. So I was hauling a shit ton of mulch today, by the way. So that was my day. It was horrible. What would be the effect of a 5% decline in population? I'm not the guy to ask about that. Yeah, G-Man, it was hot as shit out today. Let me read up through some of the comments here. Oh, thanks, Brum Dog. I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, Alliance Block, though, I think is an absolute monster. Everything that I've seen with them, what they're building, these data tunnels, these liquidity marketing or liquidity markets as a service, it's just really big in my opinion. They are certainly going to announce a partnership with the Graph here in the next probably couple of weeks, which I found through looking through their GitHub because they're doing liquidity marketing or liquidity market as a service for them as well. So to sell what? Vegas XRP? Oh yeah, bro, I'm bald. Well, I'm not bald. I still grow it. You can see like where the hair grows, but it doesn't make too much sense. Yeah, Vegas. I think for me, XRP is not a sell at $1 at all. I bought XRP at $1. I'm certainly not going to sell at $1. It's kind of a waiting game. I feel like we may be dealing with some similar things with something like Hedera Hashgraph, something like Alliance Block, something like any of these assets that have these token rollout mechanisms that kind of extend out into like 2025-ish. It's interesting to see that they do extend out into 2025-ish. So I wonder what the reasoning is behind that, because it's just interesting. I'll say that because there's a lot of initiatives that lead us to 2025. There's a lot of initiatives that lead us to 2030 as well. So we'll see where it goes. Yeah, KG, I think I agree. I mean, Blockchain Backer is a great resource in this space, in my opinion. I like Crypto Crew University from a Bitcoin standpoint, and sometimes he will do charting of XRP and certain other digital assets. He's kind of conservative as well. So these are two people. Now, keep in mind, nobody's going to be 100% right whenever they do charting. It's for reference, and it's almost to empower and enable you guys for yourselves to be able to do something similar. So, I mean, I recommend this. I mean, for everybody in this space, if you're watching this and you haven't been in crypto for a very long time, in 2018, November of 2018, I had like 3 followers on Twitter, and I had been in crypto for about a year and a half, about 2 years prior to that. Didn't really pay attention, didn't do research, was just kind of into the hype. You know, this market is amazing to me, not just because I think that a lot of people, when they get into this market immediately, they just want to make a lot of money right off the bat, which is great. I still want to make a lot of money right off the bat if I invest into something. But this market to me has empowered me to XRP, I should say. So this leads me into that Bitcoin statement where Bitcoin fixed the government. Okay, no, that's fucking stupid. But XRP has fixed my view on financial markets, certainly, because I understood Once I understood, being through 2017, understanding how slow Bitcoin was, et cetera, and I knew that there had to be another solution, that led me to looking into XRP from a utility standpoint, which also led me into diving more into digital assets. So I guess what I'm saying is anybody that's listening to this can do the exact same thing that I've done and build up a following, build up research-based assessments of what you potentially want to invest in for yourselves in the future, because some of these assets that are utility driven are extremely undervalued, in my opinion. And at some point, the dog stops wagging its tail and utility, takes forefront. Now, we're not there yet, obviously, but, understanding what assets have that utility-based mechanism behind them and what organizations are building upon those assets, doing your own due diligence and research to understand what's coming in this market is extremely valuable, and it will change yours and your family's lives forever. This is not financial advice. It's just telling you to do your own research and look into shit. These hype-based ones are an extremely different research mechanism entirely that you have to learn, just similar to what you would need to learn from looking at the utility ones. There's different metrics to look at different things. And even the utility ones, you're going to get wrecked on some of them, because some of them, I've seen utility assets that have great ideas, great utility, great teams behind them that just don't do well. Look at Elastos in 2017, early 2018. It did great. Now, still kind of stagnant now. I don't know. I don't even know what it's at now. Undervalued, I think. Neo, I would say, is undervalued probably still. There's assets out there that have continuously built, but that valuation hasn't shown for whatever reason that may be. So, and by the way, yeah, I will touch base on Elon Musk and Cumrocket, by the way, because I don't care. I'm willing to share my opinion on anything. I have done multiple streams and told you guys multiple times that I fucking hold that. I've held that coin. I had 2.5 million of those coins before it pumped for the first time, way below a penny. And I sold 70% just because I'm like, I can't hold this coin. But I held 30% for a reason. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out, because we know what he did with Doge. I do think that he may be under some sort of scrutiny as well, as far as it's almost like similar to if you were here in 2017, John McAfee was doing similar things and he was indicted for certain things. So I'd be curious to see what happens, but because it's not financial advice, but when you're in a power position with multi-millions of followers and you're saying things like that, there's implications to what you're saying. So I think Flare is going to be ridiculously big, in my opinion. Here's the thing with Flare, too. We've heard, and it's just like any early adopter into any network, the earlier that you are, the more incentivized that you'll be to participate in the network. So that's what I'm looking forward to. There may be an initial dump if people want to sell their allocation. For me personally, it's similar to XRP. I probably won't be selling. You could probably swing trade it to an extent, but I just don't see the necessity in doing that. I would rather just participate in the network and grow my stack back, both from an XRP, from a Spark standpoint, from a D-Flare, all these different things. I just would plan on participating in the network and supporting it like I've tried to do over the past couple of years. So, well, here's another thing too. I mean, I guess that's a really good question. So, yeah, Ethereum 2.0 will be delayed indefinitely, just like all of Ethereum's updates have been. But what are the plans? If you do make profit in this market, what are the plans? Do you want to cash out? Would you rather? So for me personally, I think physical gold and silver are good moves. I think potentially hedging in, as much as I would hate to say it, hedging in like a dollar-backed stablecoin with interest might be a good move. But it depends on how much you cash out. I think BitTrue is doing 20% APY. I don't know if I'd put it all on BitTrue, but I would certainly split it up. I've seen other platforms with dollar-backed stablecoins doing like 10 to 12% APY. Now, if you have like 50 grand, that doesn't seem like a shit ton of money. That might be like $5,000 a year plus taxes in the U.S. But you start getting up to like 500 grand. And at some point, everybody listening to this, if you do your research and if you invest wisely, even with a small amount of capital into this market, at some point, you may not be there right now. You may not be at the point right now where you're like, man, if I had 100 grand, that'd be ridiculous. I'll never get to that level. If I had 500 grand, that'd be ridiculous. I'll never get to that level. If I had $1 million, that's ridiculous. I'll never get to that level. If you stay in this market and you research enough and you understand what you're looking at, all of those numbers are just numbers on paper. You can get to every single one of those numbers from whatever amount of money that you have to put into this market. Not financial advice. That's understanding when to buy in. That's understanding when to sell. That's understanding market trends. That's understanding what assets have utility that are longer term holds. That's understanding what is going on in the market from a hype standpoint. Can you capitalize on it with a risk-based assessment as far as what you're willing to allocate into those hype-based assets? Make no mistake about it. These small caps that are $500,000 to $1 million, I'm staying away from them more now just because there's so many rug pulls. But 2 months ago, it was the prime time to be doing that type of thing. That will come again. There will be another time in the next market cycle where that happens again. Because they are going to regulate us out of buying into some of these larger cap assets. That is kind of where I see crypto going to an extent. And by regulating us out, I don't mean that they can ever really necessarily take it away from us, but I think they tax it out of people for these blue chip type assets, whether it be 30 or 40% or whatever the hell it might be, some sort of a flat tax as well. But where does that money move to once they start taxing that out? Because they will try to do it. And I don't think that they can regulate us out of the DeFi space at this point in time because there's ways around that. So it's almost going to be like, in my opinion, you have the utility, and some of these utility-based assets in the future are going to be worth way more than they're worth right now, in my opinion. But then you also kind of have that entry fee to get in, and then you can still play around in the DeFi space to an extent. Because right now we're looking at there's probably 10,000 cryptos out there that are on CoinMarketCap. I haven't looked. I know like a month ago it was like 8,000 that are actually listed. There's way more than that out there. But actually recognized on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, 2 or 3 years from now, that's not going to be 10,000. That's going to be probably 40, 50, maybe 100,000, maybe 150, maybe 200,000 digital assets out there. Probably more than that. And it's almost going to be impossible to try to find the good ones. So I don't know if impossible is the right word. I think still vetting these things out, understanding that if you vet them out, there's still probably a 20 to 30% chance you get rug pulled, but it's going to be crazy where this goes. So yeah, let me look real quick how many assets there are out there right now. I'm doing a live stream, babe.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Come on.
Sorry. Oh yeah. 10,296 cryptos that are recognized on CoinMarketCap right now.
See me?
Yeah.
No one, anybody's seeing me.
10,296 cryptos right now, which is completely ridiculous, by the way. The new tax is here today, mate. It was announced today by the Treasury Secretary in the UK. Was that like 20 or no? Was that like, I saw that today. What was it, Mike? Was it like 25% or something like that on all business transactions or whatever? I'm pretty sure I did see that. What's up, Dave?
No, don't you do it. Here, I'll do this. You get to see my hand.
Mom, can you open this?
Yeah.
Yeah, here. What are you eating?
Chippies with
Sandwich.
Salt and vinegar chips. You're going to make burgers and hot dogs.
Those are the best.
Ooh.
Mom.com, baby.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So I'm really interested to see what other governing board members Hedera Hashraf has on board. Do I think XRP or Spark will have higher price in the long term? That's a really good question. I guess it depends on use, right? I mean, Spark essentially brings XRP into number one DeFi plus smart contracts. So you would assume that there's some value there. So
Got my Guardian dress on today.
oh damn. Smoking pork belly burnt ends right now. I'm coming over.
Pork bellies?
Yeah.
Oh. Harrier. Oh my God. Who is this?
ICP, yeah, Definity's big. Dan, Definity's really big. That being said, I'm not touching, and I haven't been touching any of the. So, for me personally, I haven't put any money into crypto in 3 months. I bought in 2018. I bought in 2019. I bought in 2020. I haven't put any in very early 2021. I haven't put any money into crypto in about 2.5 to 3 months. So that's just my move, I guess. But yeah, Veracity. I've heard Veracity. I think I talked about Veracity before. Isn't Veracity that one that's like the decentralized GitHub? Is that Veracity, G-Man? Has like the plant thing as a symbol. Is that Veracity?
God,
Which one is Veracity then?
Hot outside.
Let me look up Veracity because I know I've seen Veracity before. Super hot outside.
Swimming on the surface of the sun right now. Oh my God. Good Lord.
Oh, Veracity is esports, product layer platform for esports and video entertainment. Okay. Oh, they're already integrated with Vimeo, YouTube, Twitch. What's the market cap of Veracity? It's got to be higher. Not that high. 70 mil.
The whale.
I'll have to look and see who Veracity's partnered with. I know that I've heard about them before. So, yeah, $70 million market cap is not crazy at all. So, yeah, VRA is still low. I'm probably going to do until like 5:45, guys. I just wanted to do a quick one because I know that this market's crazy right now. So, crazy. Dude, there's so many coins. I've never heard of EarnX. Yearn Classic Finance. Am I looking at the right thing here? I did want to say that Singularity DAO thing was pretty cool to me. Is EarnX an actual coin? Certainly is. Oh, shit. Well, that's really fucking low. $6 million market cap. DeFi and NFTs. I don't know. I'm looking at the website. Okay. Website's all fucked up. I would have to look at Twitter. Shit ton of YouTube or Twitter followers. Is this like active members though? Very much so. Seems like it. June 4th. Oh, they partner with Bella as well. On Bitru. Is the market cap really $6 million? Because that seems like low. That's something that interests me because I don't. Yeah, Earn X is low. I would definitely be looking into Earn X, by the way. So thank you. It's really hot outside.
I know. I had to sit on this side because the sun is coming right in on me.
Market just made a dump. What did it dump to? %. So where do we dump to, though, is the question.
Are these people talking to you, or are they like texting?
They're talking. It's the same thing, dude. I mean, it's nothing major. Right now, Bitcoin is just sitting on the 50 EMA. So absolutely the same thing we've been doing. Right now, I guess just to give you guys a heads up, anywhere between like $33,800 to $43,400, in my opinion, is just kind of the consolidation period here. This is on the weekly. If I were to look at the daily, I'd have to. Oh, well, I could draw this out, I guess, on the daily. But as far as big picture type stuff, you're looking at anywhere down to like 33,500 up to $43,300. I mean, this is nothing new, guys. 5% here, 5% there. This is not necessarily, in my opinion, anything to write home about. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. The bigger moves are really going to be where we get concerned or don't get concerned, or we continue up. So I do, dude. It's hot as balls out here. So $30K. $30K would be a little rough for me. $30K would be concerning to me as well. So we might see a wick down. Maybe you're seeing something I haven't seen, but we might see a wick down to $30K. I'm trying to look. I don't know, man. I think like 30. I think we're like right what I said before is kind of where I'm looking at. So, all right, I'm gonna grill out, guys.
I'm making burgers.
Burgers and hot dogs.
B's and D's, baby.
B's and D's, yeah.
Yeah.
So, take one or two last questions here. 20. Anything's possible, dude. Where would I put $500? Thanks for streaming my deep dive. Disabled vet.
Ooh, we like vets. That's a vet right here.
Yeah.
You're a disabled vet.
For me personally, I don't know if I would put $500 into any of the big coins right now. Maybe something like a Lions block that has more utility. That's a smaller cap. But honestly, I think $500 during the depths of the bear market can potentially be life-changing as well. So we've seen 40, we've seen 6. Buying Cardano at sub a penny. I think it was right close to a penny, and it went to $1.40 or whatever. So that's 140x. So whatever 140, what's 100 times $5? You know, it's $5,000. No, $50,000.
My little calculator. I have no idea.
So, all right, you guys have a good evening. I am going to hop off here. We'll do another live stream next week. I'll probably do a couple of actual real videos next week as well. Weekends are more so family. I was lugging mulch around all day today in the 92-degree heat. So
Putting you to work.
I will talk to you guys. All right. Have a good night. Later.